patience today. We appreciate it. We are streaming. We're recording this and streaming this to YouTube, just as a friendly reminder. And we know how all these work now. For those of you joining us virtually, please just raise your hand virtually. We'll call on you in the chat box. For those of us here in the room, please raise your hand. We have Marlene right over here. She will hand you a microphone. Everyone's getting to know everyone in a new year. Please just state your name and who you're representing and to whom you would like to ask the question or to answer your question. We are going to have each of these gentlemen do a brief opening statement before we open it up to questions. And friendly reminder, we do have some food in the back from Chick-fil-A, so please feel free to take whatever you like, some Advocare product, some Pepsi products, and some water. So lunch is on us, late lunch on all of us here at FC Dallas today, because it's good to see each and every one of you here. With that, I will open it up. We'll go my left to right, your right to left. We'll kick it off with Dan, then we'll go with Nico, and we'll have Andre bring us home before we open it up to questions. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be together here in 2022. And with new seasons, new hope springing eternal. And that's something that's very exciting for us. We're thrilled to bring in Nico and his entire staff. This is sort of a change for us. We've done things in the past where we've been, I think, very insular and continued to promote from within, and that's a great thing. And we've had a lot of success doing that. But Nico and his whole staff, they bring a breath of fresh air and some outside ideas. And it's very rare in life that you get the opportunity to hire a national team coach who has league experience, who also has international experience and has intimate familiarity with our player pool. Nico was responsible for scouting a lot of MLS and had a relationship with, I believe, or knew a dozen of our players. And that's just something you hardly ever get when you hire a coach from the outside. So that's been exciting. Andre's been working away diligently on signing players. As you guys saw last week, we had the MLS Super Draft, and I thought it was incredibly successful for us. We addressed 3 positions of needs, and then also with your later picks, we're able to find projects that either will help FC Dallas or help North Texas Soccer Club, and our academy continues to produce great players. And I think this is going to be a very exciting season in MLS, and we have big expectations, but we also recognize this is a process. I was thinking about our season this last year, and 33 points in 34 games obviously is not the standard. And you need to be in a space where you can achieve between 48 and 50 points to get into the playoffs. And so I think we're just going to have to look and build on some of the positives that we had last year, but also at the same time, there's some things that have to be fixed. And a big one for me would be the goal differential, looking at that and spending some time thinking about it. But we're really excited with Nico here and very excited about what Andre has working. And the big news, obviously, in the offseason was the Ricardo Pepi transfer. And obviously, a great book of business, and my hat's off to Andre on this, negotiating a deal that really hasn't been seen in MLS for a homegrown. The Alphonso Davies deal was very close, but we're taking those proceeds, and obviously it's a payment system here that most big transfers occur, and so we'll be paid out over 3 years. But we're taking those proceeds and immediately reinvesting them in the product on the field, and we're doing that in a couple different ways. We're going to do it with the cash that we're receiving, so we'll use it for transfers, and we're also going to take the allocation money and put it to work right away. And so, coupling those things together, we're going to do things that are going to improve the FC Dallas roster and give Nico and his staff the group of players that are going to be able to compete. And I'll just say this, it is a process, and we will add players now. We will try to add a player or 2 in the summer potentially, and then there'll be players that you add next year, and you have to think about how that works. But we have complete faith in what's going on and really excited and energized for this coming season. So thank you.
Right, Nico, go ahead, please.
Hi, hello, everyone. Thanks for coming, and hello for all the ones that are in the Zoom call. We are very excited for this opening day, opening training, and the players are very excited also. You can see their energy. You sometimes have even to control them in some of the exercises and ask for some calm and some patience in some of the plays. The staff is very excited. As you could see, not all the staff is here yet, Miguel, we hope he's coming at the end of this week. He's just waiting his passport back from the embassy. Javi will have an arrange with the embassy during this week probably, and then he will join us probably next week. We saw also missing some of the players. We have Jesus with the national team, Nanu in the Africans Cup, and some other players, because of COVID protocols, couldn't participate to the training, but they will be joining us soon. And off the field with Andre and Dan, working really hard to try to make the team stronger as we want to do it. And as Andre will tell you more about it. But thinking on what this first day has been, really excited. Players are already getting some of the concept that we want to introduce. As Dan said, we know it's a process, but their mind is in the right place. They are willing to hear and to learn and to keep going and to help us to be a successful season.
Thanks, Nico. Bring us home, Andre.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be here again to speak to you guys. Always excited when we have the beginning of new season. Not much to add after Nico and Dan, but I just wanted to highlight how much work all of us here, the coaching staff, put to have this preseason ready for the players, and our work continue just to have this roster as complete as possible and as soon as possible for Nico. We know we still need to add some important pieces to the team, and those pieces will certainly help us achieve our goals this season. So the work continues, and hopefully we'll be able to announce those possible new signings soon.
Anything else?
Oh, and and I wanted to take this opportunity to announce that I can confirm now that this was asked me last time, but now we can confirm that we re-signed Jesus Ferreira to a new contract. So Jesus is going to be our young DP starting this season. We're super excited. Jesus has been his performance and his background here in the club, and so he deserves just to be compensated and to have this new deal for him. We're thrilled to have him for longer term here with us. So and now this can be confirmed right now. So Jesus is another deal for 4 guaranteed years plus one option year.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll kick it off in the room here. Marlene has the microphone. Go ahead.
Hey, Nico, Mark Followell, TV play-by-play. Good to see you again. Can you share with us, as you start installing concepts and you have preseason training sessions and exhibition friendlies before the season starts, what is an ideal training camp look like for you? What steps and things do you need to see accomplished in the process to be in a position to put your best foot forward when you play a match for 3 points, a real match, obviously with the opener on February 26th?
Hi, Mark. I think the important thing is we all want to win, right? We want, this is the desire of every sport team, and we want to win also. But we need to find a way to win, and an idea that put us together to get the win. Because to say just the word win, it's very simple. There is a lot of steps behind to make a team successful. And we're in the process. The first thing is that I can tell you is it's been a long off season for the players. We need this first week just to accommodate them, get used to training, the rhythm, and the exercises that we want to achieve. And this first week healthy, no injuries in this first week. But while we're training, start getting some concepts. As I said before, I need also to learn more about the players. I need to learn more about their interactions, their connections, their abilities, and help them individually more with the staff. And this is what we're doing now. We're very glad about the effort that they're putting in the training sessions, how they are very focused on the concepts and how they receive the feedback in a good way to put in practice after receive it. And this will help us to progress to the second week, and then step by step introducing the players when we start playing games about the meaning on the game. That is an exhibition game, but we also want to perform in this kind of games.
Right up here to the front, please. Go ahead.
Hola, Nico. Eric Mora con Telemundo. I'd like to make the question in English, but if you can answer in Spanish, please.
Okay.
Your first impressions about the team that you have right now, and how much pressure do you have after knowing that FC Dallas didn't do that well last year? They need to win. They want to win. They want to get into the playoffs again. So it's basically two questions. Your first impressions with the team, with the players that you have, and how much pressure do you have?
Te contesto en español. Sí.
Ujú.
La impresión es buena, como he dicho anteriormente, la actitud de los jugadores es muy buena, están todos con una gran energía, con una gran predisposición. Es un grupo de jugadores que está bien formado, con una capacidad técnica buena, que pueden jugar el balón bien, por lo tanto es algo que a mí me gusta. A partir de ahí, pues bueno, yo creo que la presión es el día a día. No hay más presión que trabajar duro, que exigirnos a nosotros, y más que nosotros no nos va a exigir nadie. Por lo tanto, yo creo que de ahí vamos a quitar esa presión para poder en esos momentos centrarnos en lo que tenemos que hacer, y eso nos va a ayudar a poder conseguir los objetivos que tenemos.
Hola Nico, John Arnold con The Striker Texas y Dallas Morning News. Quería preguntar un poco sobre los cambios que estaba mencionando Dan, viendo con nuevos ojos las cosas que están haciendo el club y los cambios que están haciendo. Obviamente recién llegaste, pero parece que ya están cambiando algunas cosas. Hablando con los jugadores estaban mencionando hasta cómo desayunan junto los jugadores, y también cambios físicos, buscando una cafetería, cambiando un poco de las oficinas. ¿Qué me puede decir sobre por qué es tan importantes esos cambios y cuáles son algunos de los ejemplos de las cosas que estaba mencionando Dan que quieres cambiar y que son a lo mejor parte de sus métodos?
Sí, gracias por la pregunta, John. Bueno, pues como todos, yo tengo una experiencia tanto en Europa como en Columbus y la selección nacional, y he visto trabajar de una manera equipos de profesionales, y creo que yo podía, es algo que en la entrevista cuando hablé con Dan y con André, yo creo que esa visión que yo tengo de fuera, y al poder haber trabajado tan alto nivel, podría trasladar aquí a Dallas y ayudar a hacer una serie de cambios que ayudan al funcionamiento de un equipo profesional. Por lo tanto, pues una de las cosas que hemos hecho es ampliar el gimnasio, poner la cafetería arriba, donde los jugadores pueden tener más espacio para estar, y luego también hemos cambiado las oficinas del technical staff. Vamos a hacer otros cambios, como crear una oficina para el High Performance Department, y luego iremos analizando. También hemos invertido en software a nivel técnico y en otra serie de cosas que vamos a ir poco a poco cambiando y que nos acerque más hacia donde está la dirección del fútbol profesional o del soccer aquí, y que tanto en MLS como en equipos por alrededor del mundo pues ya están yendo a esta dirección. Todos estos cambios yo creo firmemente que nos pueden ayudar y acercar a poder ser un club que opte a ganar cosas en el futuro, y por lo tanto todas estas pequeñas cosas nos van a permitir que tanto los jugadores como el staff pues podamos convivir en un espacio en el que sea muy gratificante el poder ir a trabajar, y a partir de ahí nos ayude a rendir de la mejor manera.
Gracias. Y for Andre, I understand there are signings you're hoping to announce, that things are not official yet, but I still have to ask you, there are reports in Argentina about Alan Velasco from Independiente. Have you had discussions about that player with the club or with his representation?
I don't like to comment on players that we haven't signed, or players that were in negotiations. But what I can tell you, for any player that is talented as Alan will always be interested. So we want to bring high-level players. We want to bring players that can really impact our team, can make the difference here. So we'll search for players in that caliber. But there is not much more that I can comment on with that regard.
Carlos Nava de ESPN Internacional. Nico, está hablando de, obviamente, del proceso para tratar de ganar y tratar de ser lo más competitivo posible. ¿Qué tanto se va a seguir priorizando a los jóvenes que vienen de la academia o incluso de algún otro equipo para que sean parte interactiva y real del primer equipo en temporada regular?
Bueno, como habéis podido ver en la primera sesión de entrenamiento, tanto Anthony como Slay, que vienen del United Team, del equipo, han estado entrenando con nosotros. Esa integración va a estar ahí. Yo estoy muy en contacto con Chris Hayden, el Academy Director de FC Dallas. Por lo tanto, ese vínculo va a seguir estando. Es algo que a mí me encanta ver a los jóvenes. Creo que vienen y traen una energía especial y que hacen que todo el mundo esté alerta. Y al final, para mí, no lo determina la edad que uno pueda jugar o no, sino lo que lo determina es lo que uno puede mostrar en el campo.
En ese aspecto, viendo el roster de hoy del primer día de práctica, solamente vimos a Jimmy y Toño Carrera como porteros, además del muchacho que vino en el draft. ¿Te podría decir que en este momento Toño Carrera es el segundo portero del primer equipo?
Bueno, yo creo que todavía estamos trabajando en la confección del roster y la portería es una de las posiciones a completar. Por lo tanto, yo creo que de momento es muy pronto para asegurar eso, pero Antonio está trabajando muy bien y queremos que siga haciéndolo de esa manera.
All right, I think we're going back up front here to Eric.
Dos preguntas más.
Sí.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Dos preguntas más. Una pregunta para Nico, una pregunta para André. Nico, ¿qué tipo de equipo vamos a ver? ¿Cuál es tu idea de equipo, de idea de juego al ataque? ¿Vas a priorizar la defensiva, la media? Me gustaría saber qué es lo que vamos a poder esperar de tu equipo en esta temporada. Me gustaría saber, André, qué exactamente están buscando. Posiblemente no nos podrías decir nombres, pero ¿qué está buscando el equipo? ¿Qué posiciones de jugadores?
Bueno, te contesto primero. Yo creo que hay una tendencia mucho hacia ir hacia los extremos, ¿no? En cuanto si es un equipo ofensivo o un equipo defensivo. A mí me gusta más encontrar equipos que sean equilibrados y que sepan hacer las dos cosas, ¿no? Porque yo lo que quiero ver es que mi equipo sepa cómo atacar contra un equipo que está defendiendo en repliegue o cómo superar líneas rápido contra un equipo que te presiona alto y te deja espacios entre líneas. Eso es lo que yo quiero que mis jugadores sepan entender. Por lo tanto, vamos a poder ver diferentes tipos y variedades de ataques porque lo importante es que el jugador y el equipo entienda qué toca en cada momento. Y a nivel defensivo, un equipo equilibrado, como bien decía Dan, uno de los problemas que ha tenido el equipo este último año es ese balance entre goles marcados y goles concedidos. Por lo tanto, es algo que tenemos que saber. Habrá momentos en los que seremos un equipo agresivo y que quiera presionar y robar rápido, y otros momentos en los que haya equipos que nos puedan someter, y ahí nos gustaría ser un equipo que se adapta bien y que sabe sufrir para sacar resultados, ¿no?
Y bueno, con relación a los jugadores que aún necesitamos aquí, posiciones, bueno, como también Dan mencionó, tal vez no será posible solamente en este periodo ahora resolver todos los problemas que tenemos, pero estamos avanzando en algunas negociaciones y Nico ya mencionó el portero es una. Ojalá tengamos una solución a esto muy pronto y vamos a buscar aún una opción defensiva para el medio y para el ataque. Entonces, para todos los sectores de la cancha estamos buscando opciones de jugadores que, como dije, son jugadores que entendemos que vengan para aportar mucho al equipo y elevar el nivel de lo que estamos haciendo aquí, del trabajo del equipo para poder disputar todos los partidos y competir de manera fuerte en este año.
A question about Jesus and his young DP contract. Obviously, it's been quite a journey for him. You have some perspective on the fact that in 2020, as we know, man, it was a tough year for him in 2020. And then last year was one of the real positive stories was the rediscovery of the form that he had in 2021. with the time to kind of reflect on it now and announcing the contract signing today, the young DP contract signing today, as you look back, what do you think is responsible and in terms of turning his form around from the struggles of 2020 to the player that he was last year?
Well, thanks for the question, because for me, Jesus, what amazed me and what really impresses in this last 3 years that I've been with him, how much he matured, how much he grew, not only in his performance in the pitch, but also mentality, and how much he's focused on the game now, and he understands very well what he needs to do. I had many conversations with Nico throughout the process about Jesus, and had conversations in the past with Greg, and we see the direction that Jesus is going is amazing. I think he's has everything, and at the age that he is right now, he's almost a 2001 player. He's end of December 2000, so he's really young. He just turned 22 now, 21, sorry. And so he has so many years ahead of him, and I believe Jesus just this year we're still gonna get the best of Jesus. Next year is gonna be better and better. So we're really excited to add those years more in his contract, because I think he's gonna be more and more a key player for our team.
Nico, Carlos Alvarado de la radio en español del equipo. Hace poco hablamos con Franco Jara, jugador de jerarquía, y le pregunté si esperaba jugar más bajo este proceso. La gente espera mucho de ese tipo de jugador, y me imagino que en ese aspecto tú también estás consciente, ¿no? Pero también él está consciente de que va a pelear esa posición ahora con Jesús Ferreira, como lo hizo en su momento con Pepi. ¿Qué podemos esperar? ¿Qué esperan ustedes como institución, tú como técnico de Franco Jara?
Bueno, yo lo primero es que Franco es un grandísimo profesional, grandísima persona. He tenido la oportunidad de conocerlo estos meses en los que hemos hablado por teléfono, hemos tenido conversaciones, ahora entrenando. Y la competición y la manera en la que uno rinde es la que le va a llevar a uno a jugar más o menos. Sabemos lo larga que es la temporada. Tenemos una confianza tremenda en los dos nueves que tenemos, y por lo tanto no va a haber motivo de discusión en ese sentido, porque los dos van a aportar muchísimas cosas juntos para este club, y por lo tanto en ese sentido yo creo que ellos van a adoptar una posición muy profesional de competir y de dar lo mejor, y al final pues lo que uno hace en el campo le va a dar la oportunidad de tener esos minutos. Pero al final yo creo que a veces nos olvidamos que tanto el que inicia el partido como el que lo acaba es igual de importante. Entonces muchas veces hemos visto equipos que son capaces de cambiar partidos con las sustituciones que tienen, y una de las cosas que nosotros queremos mejorar en este roster es tener jugadores que vengan desde la segunda parte para ayudar al equipo y que nos den un salto de calidad, algo que estamos viendo que ha cambiado muchos equipos.
Coach Nico, Abby Jones with D210 Sports. Isaiah Parker, third in the MLS Super Draft, 19 years old, a young player with a lot of promise and opportunities. I believe that you've mentioned you see him becoming a versatile player defensively, and I was just wondering, would you be encouraging the transition in his position early on in the season, or would that be a game-by-game evaluation?
Isaiah is a very interesting player. When we were looking for him, he caught our eyes really quick to everyone and the staff in the organization, because as you said, he's very versatile type of player. He's very vertical player, and we like that. We like this verticality. He has a special talent offensively, but he has also a good physicality to be able to play in the different positions. In pre-season is a really nice time to try him in a different positions. We have Ryan in that position, a Welbeck that is coming from the North Texas, and in that position, and we also can use Isaiah there. I think it's a good time to test him in the different positions and where he can help most the team. But we are very, very excited about him as a player and what he can bring to the team.
Nico with Third Degree. kind of keeping with the theme of a new season, new year, and even new coaches for both teams. A question to all three of you. Dan, you mentioned a little bit about investments. Just kind of, what are your goals and hopes for the direction of the club this year? And then Nico, what are you really hoping to accomplish with your new team in this new role? I imagine getting back into the playoffs is one expectation, but a little bit just what you're hoping to build with your team. And then Andre, just kind of the overall player and roster development for the club in general.
You know, for me, it's about putting our staff in a position that they can have success with the players on the field, very simply put. We addressed, positions in the draft that were incredibly important to us. We also are, trying to address some other players that people are asking about from outside markets, but we're also looking internally in MLS right now. To get a player that has MLS experience that's been very successful, there's a high value to that. So we're also scouring the league, but as we plan this process out, we've got to be incredibly thoughtful and fill the coaches' needs and wants. And I think we're doing a very good job of it. But it is, like I said, it's a process because you only have so many open roster spots, so many international spots, which we went out and got an extra one, to make sure that we could fit players in. Then we'll address again in the summer if there's a possibility. And then if you look at our roster, you have natural turnover in players this next year. But we got to put ourselves in a spot that our coach can put the best team on the field, hopefully compete for the playoffs, and then build upon that success. But it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think we've been very thoughtful and very intentional in what we're doing.
Yeah, for my question following the words that Dan said is we have to, as a staff, to put the players in a position to win, right? And this is our work. And we know it takes time. It's not easy. We want to accelerate the process to put them in a position to success as much sooner as possible. But we know it's going to be ups and downs, and we're going to have to learn things and going to have to prepare them mentally to be in a position to win, right? Then this is what we expect, like a hard work, understanding the game and the style of play, and then grow from there, develop them individually to put them in a position as a team to get wins.
No mind the development of the roster, right? This is, I'm gonna repeat Dan's word, but it's a process. We are constantly open for opportunities, looking for players that, as I mentioned here before, can raise the add value to our team and raise the level of our team. So we've been working with Nico, with our scouts, with the coaching staff, watching players and making sure we get the right ones. We get the right ones for the positions we need. We get the right ones for the profile we need, and the ones that will make our fans excited to watch. So that's what we've been trying to find, and hopefully, as I said, we'll have positive news soon to announce here.
Here to the right, please.
Hi, guys. Owen Newkirk, also FC Dallas TV play-by-play when Mark can't do it. Kind of a question for both Andre and Nico. I'm curious as to where you see the forward trajectory for Paxton Pomykal, particularly because over the last couple of seasons, he's gone from a real breakout young talent to struggling with some pretty serious injuries. He got through relatively healthy most of last season and playing sort of in a position that wasn't considered maybe his natural one, but shows a lot of versatility. Where do you see Paxton going forward, especially with this team this season? Do you see him moving more centrally, playing out wide? And could this be a step up because of he was more healthy after last year's surgery recovery?
Paxton is a very intelligent player. I think he could play in any position because he's really, really a smart player. And then for him, it's about how he's going to develop in other areas that can help him to succeed playing or inside or playing wide, right? Then also as a team, as a coach, I have to create the context for him that he can develop and then he can do the things that he can do inside the field. As you can see, some of the trainings that we have, he's playing inside and he's doing very well there. He's very comfortable in that position. he has a good feet to play, very smart, intelligent, moving in between lines and helping to control the possession. But he also can do this playing wide and coming inside. Will create the context for him. The first thing for him is, as you said, he was coming from some injuries, and to have the consistency to be healthy, to get his fitness at his best level. And then from there, his quality, his intelligence will help him to perform in the games.
I'll just add that Paxton not only on the field, but he always has a positive influence in the group. He's a leader among the young players, and he has all the tools that we need. He already explained on the field, but Pax, I have conversations frequently with Paxton about different things, because he's the kind of guy that I like to hear, and I like to get his thoughts. He's still young, and just what I said about Jesus, I think Paxton will every year will get the best out of him. Unfortunately, he had those injuries, those issues that professional players have to deal with, but now they're in the past, and I'm sure Paxton is just this season he's going to help us a lot. I'm 100% sure of that.
All right, we're going to go to Zoom now because we've got some folks who've been waiting very patiently. We'll kick it off with Nathan and then go to Charlie. Go ahead, Nathan.
Thank you, and thanks for making this available. I have a question for Andre, then a question for Dan, and then a question for Nico. So we'll start, Andre. Just if you could share a little bit more about the signing Jesus to a DP contract, and you said young DP. So what does that mean? The roster stands as far as flexibility in adding another young DP or another full DP, with roster rules being kind of strange as they are in MLS. Can you speak to that? And like with this conversation, did you all initiate it with Jesus and his agent, or is this something you've been having mutual conversation about for a while?
Yeah, this is something we discussed internally here. It was something Dan and I were discussing about, and obviously after the end of the season, especially the season we had, we must evaluate everything, what we did right, what we did wrong, what the analysis of each player, and then consequently what we're going to do with each one of them. And Jesus, even though we had a tough year, Jesus was one of the very, very positive aspects we had last year, and him being in the national team, we hope and we believe that the way he's playing, he has a good chance to be in the World Cup year. So we're going to do everything we can here to help him achieve this goal. And so then I decided, I called the agents, and after those conversations with them internally here with Clark, and we decided to offer this contract to his agents, and obviously conversations going back and forth, and then he's now a young DP. With Hara, we have 2 DPs. We have one DP spot left. So now we have, so as for the MLS rules, he's having someone as a young DP helps our cap quite a lot. So it's good that we can value a homegrown player, a player that came from our system, that is impacting our team so well, and we can give him that opportunity and grant him this contract, because as I said before, that's credit to him and what he did on the field, the performance he did. That's how he managed to get that.
Thank you. And by the way, I'm Nathan Hill from BigDSoccer.com. Dan, next question for you. If you could speak to the new hiring of the VP Director of Marketing, and what that means for maybe resetting relationships with supporters groups, improving game day experiences for folks. Could you speak to how his arrival might help Dallas grow its product in that way?
We're thrilled to welcome Jerome Olinas, who was at the Dallas Mavericks before, and also at McDonald's before that, and with other entities. But Jerome brings a wealth of knowledge and in the sports landscape, and you know he really fits with our staff well, and we're very focused on continuing to grow the presence of FC Dallas in this community. And Jerome has a lot of outlets, a lot of institutional knowledge, but we're also providing him with the resources to do so. And I also think that he will connect well with our supporters group too. He had a lot of interaction with fans at the Mavericks. And so we're going to make sure he has the resources, because supporters and fans are the lifeblood of these clubs. And I think we've got to be very focused on growing and supporting them the best we can, while also giving them the product on the field that they can be proud of and support that. So it's an exciting time for the club. We're thrilled to have him. And you don't often get professionals like Jerome that have this much experience, especially in the marketplace. So, you know, another great addition to our staff at FC Dallas.
Thank you. And final questions for Nico. Nico, just with as preseason begins, I'm just curious if you have any regular ideas that you do that you use, or tools or routines for team building. And in years past, the team would do a barbecue each week. I'm curious if you're going to keep something like that going, or you have some new ideas to develop camaraderie. And then probably one of the most important questions that fans are curious about is as part of taking this position, does it also mean you need to become a Dallas Cowboys fan?
He's a Chiefs fan.
This is why they hire me here. Just kidding. Well, the thing is with the COVID protocols, there is less things that we can do as a team building. We have to adhere with the protocols that the league and we have to be safe first, and then be able to have as much number of players training at the best. But I'm very proactive on that. I believe on this kind of things to do with the team, to build the camaraderie and to build this friendship and the family, and to help us to have more cohesion. And we'll have some ideas already put in there. We're trying to define how we're gonna do things. I love asado also. I'm a really fan of asado, but we'll add some new other things, and the players will share for sure, and everyone will share. But yeah, we're focused on create some team building things, and be creative, and add new ones that maybe haven't been done before here.
I hear he makes an unbelievable paella. So yeah, that's the word.
We're waiting for that.
Yeah, I have to order a big pan.
We're going to wrap it up in Zoom here and go to Charlie and then Jose. Go ahead, please, Charlie.
Hi, this is Charles Bond with MLS Soccer. I know this is a big question, but it seems like a pressing one. This is for I think Dan and Andre. To what do you attribute the difficulties that FCD has had over a period of years now with international signings that meet expectations? And I know this is a big question, but it seems like a pressing one for you guys as you look to put together a successful season. So I was wondering what your analysis is of that track record and how you change it.
Look, you hear these things over time, and sometimes because somebody doesn't score 30 goals, you say, boy, that was a mistake. But yet this club has had a ton of success, been in the playoffs a bunch, won a Supporter Shield, was tied for Supporter Shield, won the Open Cup. We had a great run with Schellas when he was here as head coach. Lucci obviously took us to the playoffs. We beat Portland in Portland last year, or now 2 years ago, I guess. And so that was a big win there. So, you can attribute those things, but yet I could say the teams have been very good, but we haven't gotten across the threshold of winning MLS Cup, and that's what it's really about. And so, we're focused about getting the right pieces. We have a vision here. Our staff has a vision, and we're doing our very best to execute on that for them so we can put a great team on the field.
Andre, do you want to?
Yeah, just It's as I mentioned before. Sorry to be repeating this, but it's a process, and we know sometimes, and also and it's all of us. We expect that we can have the immediate impact from players, but sometimes it takes time for the players to adapt to the league, to adapt to the club, to adapt to the system that we play, and we'll get the best out of the player after 1, 2, 3 years. So we hope. Obviously, we're every time we're working very diligently with our scouting process and to make sure we can have the right players, but we'll and I'm sure that now that what we're working, we're gonna bring players that will, as I said a few times here, are gonna have a good impact in the team. But I think I wouldn't make it general that we haven't got it right. But we'll get it right, we'll get it wrong, and that's how the soccer market works, and how the transfer market works. The more effort you put, and sometimes the player might not adapt, might not fit well in the system, and you need to work to make the best to make that to help him fit the system well. One of the things that we are introducing this year is a player care department. So this is something that we thought it was missing to help the player be fully focused on training games. So we have someone fully dedicated now to help the players to adapt to the community, to adapt to the club, and sometimes with the family. We all have personal issues, and if we can help them address this, especially those players coming from abroad, I think we'll have a better performance from them. So we're addressing every single thing that we believe can help the player to perform better, and we'll continue to do so. As again, sorry to repeat this, but it's a process, and we'll try to make it better every year. And I think we're doing it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Go ahead, Jose. We'll wrap it up with you.
Buenas tardes, José Oliveros, por Amor al Fútbol. Nico, 2 preguntas para ti. La primera, se habla mucho hoy en día del tema del vestuario, ¿no? Del manejo del vestuario. Viendo tu equipo, ¿cómo piensas que puede ser ese manejo del vestuario esta temporada? En tu caso, a sabiendas que a veces el coach debe ser padre, hermano, educador, entrenador. Y la segunda es, como legionario del fútbol español, ¿qué representa el fallecimiento hoy de Paco Gento?
Bueno, gracias por la pregunta. A ver, un vestuario es como también una familia, ¿no? Y donde tú tienes a tus hijos y los tienes que educar, y unos días pues le tienes que reñir también para que aprenda, y le tienes que ayudar a que siga en el proceso. Al final son seres humanos, es explicarle las cosas, el porqué de las cosas, el porqué de las decisiones, y entender que esto es una familia, que a veces pues las decisiones que se tomen no van a ir en el camino que a uno le gusta, pero que lo único que queda es trabajar para cambiar esa situación. Por lo tanto, pues bueno, yo creo mucho en la comunicación, creo que mucho en el porqué de las cosas, y por lo tanto, pues mis conversaciones con los jugadores eran muy honestas y directas en ese sentido, y para que ellos puedan entender el porqué de las decisiones, ¿no? Y a partir de ahí, pues sean buenos compañeros y ayuden al equipo a conseguir los resultados, que es lo más importante, ¿no? El equipo primero que nada. Y en cuanto a la segunda, pues bueno, una gran pérdida, la de Paco Gento, un jugador histórico del Real Madrid y la selección española, un extremo izquierdo habilidoso, con un gran 1 contra 1, un jugador distinto, diferente, que marcó una época para el fútbol español, y pues muy apenados, ¿no? por esa noticia que, bueno, esta mañana cuando me levanté la leí, y bueno, por ahí mandarle un pésame a sus familiares y a sus allegados y a la familia del Real Madrid.
Alrighty. That's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everyone joining us via Zoom. Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks to each and every one of you in here. Really appreciate it. Hope this was helpful to kick off the 2022 season. We'll be here throughout the year. If you need anything, reminder, we've got food in the back if you'd like to grab anything to eat. Thanks to everyone watching on YouTube as well. Really appreciate everybody.